What up, Buzz? You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap. Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty. Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery. Nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news. Go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose. Tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I'm your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, and we're here. It's the Chicago Bulls Ring of Honor night. If you don't know what that is where past champions, players of the team, from the 70s, 80s, they were all there represented, the good ones. I mean, I'm sorry if you sucked and you didn't make the Ring of Honor, but the night ended up sucking. Before we tell you why, be sure to go to ontapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. You know where to follow us on X and Twitter. Oh, we can see comments now. So if you're on fucking Twitter and you type in the little thing that you're watching, we can see the shit now. So that's pretty fucking dope. I know it's mind-blowing. It's technology that I don't understand. Follow us on Twitter. Like I said, go to YouTube, subscribe if you don't mind, because that puts bread, it gives us bread on the table. So do that. Hey, Goose, let's get right into it right away. Bulls come out against the Warriors tonight, and they pounce on them. They lost the first quarter 33-30, but they looked good while they were doing it. You get into the second quarter, they drop, 45? Yep, 45 points in the second quarter. Take a very commanding lead on Ring of Honor night, which Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, nor Michael Jordan attended. And I don't think I saw Kirky. Was Kirky there? Did you see Kirky? Yeah, see, I'm getting off base here. But does anybody know if Kirk Heinrich was there? Because I don't think he was.
I don't think he was invited, Buzz.
Okay, the way you said that was smug, and you're gonna stop right now.
I don't think I'm gonna.
I know.
You were fishing for it anyway. You got what you asked for.
That's very true. So what did you think of the night in general? I mean, the Bulls played a Bulls game. They played a half of basketball, came out and got fucking mollywopped on the other end.
I think they were 13 of 21 from three-point land in the first half.
Yeah.
They scored 45 points in that second quarter. So going into the half, before they had the ceremony, things were feeling pretty good. You felt like they were going to do right by the ceremonial night and come out with a W. Warriors missing Draymond and a couple other players. So Bulls should have had the advantage. But for whatever reason, Klay Thompson shoots lights out in this building. They showed the highlight of him hitting his 14 threes against the Bulls' once tank team. Justin Holiday and Chandler Hutchison and all of those likes in that reel. But Klay just seems to find a shooting touch in the building anytime he's here. Tonight, him and Steph both go for around 30, I believe. Curry had 27. Klay had 30.
Yeah, 30 3-point shots between the both of them. Curry made 6. Klay ended up making 7.
And Kuminga, hopefully a great audition for the Bulls, as Zach LaVine and Vucevic are going to end up in Golden State Warriors jerseys. So it was a tough night because you go to the half, you're excited. Ceremony is somewhat okay. You get the video tributes from Mike and Rodman. Obviously, Scottie isn't going to be affiliated with the Bulls anymore because he was an ambassador, and then he decided to go on TV.
And that marriage ended very badly.
Because he went on national television and decided
to talking DEFCON 5 shit.
Yeah. Like, I don't know anybody on the basketball team over there. And it's like, you're an ambassador for the team, and you're on national television talking about how you don't know any of the names of the players on this roster. Wow, embarrassing for yourself too. But so Scottie MIA, kind of expected, disappointing. Mike says, wish I could have been there. Wish the Chicago Bulls nothing but the best. Yada yada.
Look at Scox, man. Look right here.
The prompter. No, exactly.
Crazy
was brought out
disrespect
with
for
his-
Kraus from Scox in our comment section. If you want to comment, you want your comment thrown up there. If you give a fuck about that, go ahead and comment and I'll throw it on the screen. I don't really care what it says. But it says crazy disrespect for Kraus, long leaf fruit from Australia, which is true. And we got to hear all about that on social media. And yesterday, all the clips that were coming out from the night they all spent together. Kukoc came in from Croatia. Jordan Pippen and Rodman. Well, Rodman was coming, I think. But was it the weather that stopped him?
So Jordan and Rodman claimed weather, which the way that was just laid out from Scox, I'm feeling like, oh yeah, no, that looks horrible.
Weather.
But I am thinking because of the distance that Longley and Kukoc had to travel, they probably came in quite a bit earlier than today, than the snowstorm, where Michael Jordan with his private jet was probably like, if I'm gonna go, it's gonna be a last minute thing. Maybe I'll show up and surprise the shit out of everybody. And then the snow ruined that, and he was like, yeah. And probably similar thing for Rodman, not being from out of the country, probably figured he could do it more last minute, like most travel for these games tends to be anyway. And that just happened to not play out. But the fact that they had the video set up also seems like it was intentional, that they weren't going to be there for a while. So
yeah, that's how I felt too with how that looked.
Well, we can spin it however we want. If you want to feel better, spin it the way that I laid it out for you. If you feel like being a conspiracy theorist,
that's me.
Go with the predetermined videos there.
I like a good conspiracy theory.
So no, I mean the concept of the night was good. It was interesting to hear Jerry before the game pretty much say that this is Michael's baby, his organization, that he had everything to do with it.
What did you think about Michael Reinsdorf's interview with KC? I thought it was really good. Like when he started spitting like shit off the top of his head about the franchise from like the 70s and then the 80s, and even like praised the Derrick Rose 2010 2011 team. Like I was like, wow, like that's an invested guy, right? I mean, it seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, if something made me billions of dollars, I would probably too know even more about the history, especially since I can just like go walk in the stadium and walk in the facility whenever I want. And
I'm grasping at straws, man.
Like he can go watch all the replays of every single highlight from every year possible on that Jumbotron. Just it makes me sick to think about. So no, I'm not impressed by his knowledge of the franchise that he owns and grew up with.
I was impressed. What I do want to touch on real quick, I titled the episode Karma Cost Chicago Bulls. The reason I titled it Karma Cost Chicago Bulls is because our fans that were in attendance tonight, and you do whatever you want with this, will probably get yelled at on Twitter from fucking people who, I was going to say who hide behind fake profile pictures and all that good shit of, the cesspool of Twitter, right, is what we call it. Burying Jerry Krause and then booing him on top of it when his wife is right there on the fucking camera. That is some cold ass Philadelphia shit. I'm going to say that. I just want the floor for a second. I cannot stand Philadelphia. I think they're the worst fucking fan base. I swear to God, I hate them. I hate every Philly team. I think their fan bases are trash, and we are not much better after that tonight. I was like, dude, that is old ass lady. Like, get your fucking priorities straight and like be cool for a minute. Like, this guy, you're booing this guy making an old lady cry because basketball? Because basketball. I hope when you get in your car and be like, oh, we got that old lady, didn't we, buddy? You fucking dorks. I cannot believe that. That's an old-ass lady, Goose.
That's an old-ass. I mean, and besides the fact that it's an old-ass lady, as much as you can dislike Jerry Krause, he is the reason why that team existed and why all of that happened. So you can hate him for how it ended. You can hate him as a person if you want, for whatever that reason may be. But to boo him, make his wife cry on a ceremonial night where you're celebrating a dynasty that he very much had his fingerprints all over and was very much responsible for is an embarrassment as a fan base, especially a fan base that cheers for Derrick Rose and still gives him MVP chance when he comes back in your building when he did not win you a championship. And I get none of that really falls on Derrick's lap. None of that's his fault. But to give that kind of memorial to a player who didn't bring you a championship
and had a ton of controversy surround him, and call spade a spade.
Yes, I was gonna leave that out.
D-Rose.
I was gonna leave that out. I'm glad you brought it up. But yes, there is plenty of controversy involved to speculate about. We'll leave that for a whole entire different show.
Can't wait.
But to boo a guy who is legendary in this fan base's lore and make his wife cry on a night that's to commemorate what this franchise is about is an embarrassment, and it sucks. And we did deserve to lose. Like you said, karma definitely got us in that second half because the Warriors had 48 points. In the third quarter, they said, I see your 45. Here's fucking 48.
Like, dude, you know me in the juju. You know, like I believe in juju. Like that was just be better than that. Like I didn't think that we would do that. I'll be honest. I know the whole Krause thing. I know the controversy around it, but like that's an old ass lady. That's not cool to do. I keep calling her old. I'm sorry, ma'am. If you ever see this, you won't. But you're a nice old ass lady, I'm sure. I just at this point now where we're at, we've had a lot of speculation. We'll get out of the booing of Jerry Krause and his wife crying because that is depressing because she is old. And you don't do that to old ladies. It's ignorance. But hey, we'll get back into what we should be talking about. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. All right. We've been hearing a lot of trades. There's a bullshit account that's out there that has sometimes been right. It's like this NBA trade report account that's on X stating that, you could see a LaVine Thompson swap. This is something that I've called for on this show before because the expiring contract, I was then yelled at about adding extra picks into that. Which I thought was cute and funny. Like, I didn't put the whole fucking trade on there. I'm just saying full send it because everybody that was talking DEFCON 5 shit in the first half about, look at this team. They're back. They're back. Hi. I'm still here to tell you all the truth. They suck. They still suck. They're not there yet. They've got some good young talent. And I'll tell you what, Kobe White, Goose, you were 100% right 3 episodes ago. I listened to it today. It came up on my Spotify. I listened to ourselves. I never do that.
Wow, we never do that.
Well, it took me 2 hours to get to work. I was telling you before that.
Oh, so you were forced to listen to our own podcast because you were stuck in your vehicle.
I wanted to hear your voice before I croaked out.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. But you had mentioned about that dead spot for Kobe White when he hit that bad patch of games. And you're like, you know what? I believe he's going to come out of it with the way that he played before that. The confidence is too high. Last couple games, Goose, you've hit the nail on the head here. I mean, we are looking at somebody. I mean, this guy's average. He's getting 20 for you every night, and it's almost
he's not going away.
No, he's not going away, and it's kind of like I thought it was unsustainable, but it keeps popping back up.
I mean, this is going to sound stupid because when you put it this simply, everybody seems dumb for not expecting this out of Kobe White. But he literally holds the state record for more points in the state that Michael Jordan was it. Like, he holds the state record for points in North Carolina.
Who was a better basketball player? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're not.
Could it be Kobe? Could it be
the guy who was in the building tonight?
That guy who was in there.
Obviously not. But like when you just think about it, he's been a scorer his whole entire life. It's right. The fact that he's put the rest of the floor game together from the handles to the facilitating, and not just looking to get his own anymore, and it coming together at the right time for this team when they needed it from him. And I can't say that Zach has coming back has held him back at all. So, I mean, that's got to say something positive for Zach's value in a sense.
He played a great game tonight, and if it was an audition, it was a damn good one for the most part. He was efficient, 9 for 15 from the field. He was 4 for 8 from downtown, hit all 3 of his 3 free throws, 25 points.
At the end of the game, there was him and Steph going back and forth.
Right.
Steph had 6 straight. He had 8 straight.
Yeah.
And it was a fun little duel there for a second while the Bulls were still in this game. So no, audition or not, if Kuminga was auditioning for the Bulls and Zach was auditioning for Golden State, kudos to both because it went well. And I think we should execute this trade as soon as possible.
My man. DeMar DeRozan's performance tonight looked super motivated. My God, man, did he put in a lot of minutes tonight. DeMar DeRozan played 41 minutes tonight. He went 15 of 21 team high in shots, 39 points for DeMar, 6 boards, 5 assists. Goose, he only had 1 turnover.
No, I mean, for that kind of usage, to only have 1 turnover, especially since the Bulls had quite a few more turnovers than Golden State tonight, if I followed correctly. I mean, you can't ask more from him, especially given the somewhat poor performance that he had in the win previously, but he had a bounce back game for himself tonight, and unfortunately, it came in a Bulls loss. But DeMar obviously still has some in the tank. Every time we get a clunker from him like we did the previous game, we get that his father time knocking, and then he comes out and he gives you these damn near 40-plus point games, and you get to put that to rest for a little bit longer. And it does make you wonder, like, what is going to happen with this roster? One of the two has to go.
I agree. Yeah, it has to. It has to be.
Can you get more value for DeMar than you can Levine?
So I was watching what is that, NBA Today or NBA Live? It was on ESPN before the Sixers and the Kings started tonight, and Brian Windhorst was on there with Woj and Kendrick Perkins, and they were talking about the Lakers again and about how they need to add somebody to push the pace, and that's what they're really looking to do. So I have ruled out DeMar DeRozan of being in a trade that sends him over there, because I think you and I both know he's not going to work with AD and LeBron. We know that. I think LeBron might not know that, but I
wouldn't go as far to say that he couldn't work. I think DeMar can do.
You think that he's a difference between a fringe play-in spot or a championship?
I think if you're getting him and Caruso for cheap, that you're improving your team. But he's obviously not filling the description that we're speaking on now, pushing the pace. That's not, if that's what they're looking for, DeMar is anti-pushing the pace. He's more of a ball stopper, and he needs the ball the same way that LeBron needs the ball. So I don't think the fit there is great, but as we've seen with DeMar here in Chicago with Zach, I think DeMar is just going to DeMar. I don't think it matters where he goes. He's going to give you 20-plus a game if you give him enough touches, just in his sleep. So, and I think that's where DeMar is a safe bet on an expiring contract, is as a mercenary this year. You know what you're getting, and you don't have a further commitment than the remainder of the season and into the playoffs. So DeMar might be the easier, better trade chip, but for the Bulls, he's also the expiring contract of a veteran guy that you like having around your young guys. So he's easier to hold on to as well.
Right. Another thing with that Lakers trade, Goose, is that Woj had also said that though they do not want to, Austin Reeves is likely to be involved in a package to bring somebody to entice, because they don't have enough assets to just go to keep
this
Reeves. And
this simply cracks me up. And I'm not saying that Reeves is a bad basketball player. We all know Austin Reeves is a good basketball player, and
I think he's
kind of outperformed expectations. But the lure of Austin Reeves and how much value he has now compared to what it was, before he had his miracle free throw spree with LeBron being injured last year, it just blows my mind. He's not on the greatest contract because of that spree that he had. He got paid fairly well. And although it's not a overpriced contract, I think it's a fair contract at best. And I'm not excited about him in a return for a trade for a player that's been an all-star. Sorry.
That's fair.
That's not, my mind's not going to change.
But if that's the trade that happens, you want him back though, right?
I don't know what I want from the Lakers. I want nothing from the Lakers.
Well, we're also the favorites to land D'Angelo Russell per Bovada Sportsbook or something like that, where the Bulls are the favorites.
And I also read that he intentionally tried to play bad against the Bulls in case it was an audition, because he doesn't want to be here in Chicago.
Well, we don't want him here because Kobe. I don't. Why? We have Kobe White balling right now. I don't need D'Angelo Russell here. That's fucking idiotic.
As much as I'd like to see another semi-resurgence from a player here in Chicago, I don't think D'Lo fits with Kobe's resurgence. Don't take the ball out of Kobe's hands to give it to D'Lo, especially with D'Lo's playoff kind of reputation.
It ain't good.
Yeah, no, it's not. So get me Devontae Murray, or don't get me an upgrade at all.
Man.
Because him and Kobe, I could see working together.
I could see DeMar and Trae Young working well together too.
You know what? I don't care who Trae works with, because he's going to have assists and points and his team's going to lose, and that's that.
That's very fucking true. He's a stat sheet stuffer. Empty calories. All right. Next game's against San Antonio, Goose. Wemby. He is on fucking fire. He's been recently upgraded in 2K to an overall of 87. Just thought you should know that. He's been very good. He's just getting better time in and time out. So we've already done the Spurs preview once this season. We don't need to talk about them again. It's about the same team. They are very not good. and they're going through growing pains right now. They'll string together a win or two, and then they'll fall apart. That's
But
basically
they could also trade for Zach LaVine. So
who knows, man? I mean, there's so many possibilities. There's so many damn possibilities.
Auditions everywhere.
Auditions are a good thing. Wow, they only hit 5 threes in the second half. The Bulls did.
Compared to 13 in the first.
Yeah, it went 18 for 40 tonight, Goose. 50 for 86, though, from the field for 58.1%.
The broadcast for Golden State was going off about how well the Bulls were shooting and still losing this game. And it was like,
oh, yeah, they shouldn't have lost this game.
No, there's no way they should have lost this game. But Karma.
Yeah, Karma's a bitch. They had 31 team assists. My God.
No, we played a good game. I thought
the Warriors had fucking 39 assists.
Yeah, I mean, that's Warriors basketball.
It really is, man. Wow. We were out rebounded 44-36. I think that's fucking nuts.
That's Bulls basketball.
Andre Drummond had 5 boards in his 12 minutes.
And that's what's funny to me is we have one of the greatest rebounders of all time, and one of our worst team stats is rebounding.
That's because he plays 12 minutes.
This is fair. But you get my point. Like, your worst, one of your weakest attributes, and you have that guy on your bench and you don't utilize him nearly enough.
A couple surprising stats for tonight. I read you off DeMar. I've read you off Kobe. I've read you off Zach for stats. But Patrick Williams tonight, Goose. 7 assists. I don't know if that's a career high. I'm going to have to look at that. If there's a stat guy in the comment section want to let me know. But he went typical Patrick Williams game scoring-wise. 4 for 8, 9 points, 3 boards.
Well, no, Zach put it with the triple-double again tonight, too.
Yeah, 25, 8, and 7. Another interesting what did you think about the tech that Kobe got? I just want your opinion on that. When he ran away after it. That was a horrible missed call, and I would be so happy if Kobe came out in the presser and said that ref's an asshole.
So for me, like as an official, I feel like you have to be a major student of the game. And if you've watched Kobe White play basketball at all through his career, you know how emotionally involved he is in every single play of the game. And he does run away like that quite often. It's his way of blowing off steam.
Not saying shit to anybody, just runs away. Just give me a minute, let me chill out, and I'll come back over here. Yeah.
And like that should be the response you want from an emotional player.
It should be acceptable.
He shouldn't be asked to have to turn that off completely, because that's what makes a player like Kobe great, is his emotions are on his sleeve at all times for you to see.
Right.
So no, bullshit.
Yeah, it was bullshit call. I agree on the call. Phil Jackson looked good, huh? I thought he was going to talk.
It's probably best if he doesn't talk. Given a lot of the things that we have learned about Phil Jackson. Granted, everybody in the world has been canceled at just about this point. Yeah, but it's probably best that Phil didn't talk, but somewhat ironic that he was there and the other 3 big names did not really show.
I just got to get to the bottom of why Kirky wasn't in the initial Ring of Honor. I think that's bullshit. I'm just kidding. The next Ring of Honor, I know Kirky and Lou Waldang will get into it.
You know, I'm glad that Kobe White is on such a team-friendly contract, because he's going to break Kirk Heinrich's 3-point record, and I'm not going to have to hear from you anymore about that record ever again. Yep, like 2 more years from now, tops. I will be able to say that Kobe White has that record, and Kirk will get no Ring of Honor mentions ever again.
Did you have a bad day? Do you want to hurt me?
I did have a bad day.
Is that what it is, motherfucker?
I think anybody who lived in Illinois who doesn't have a friend with a plow had a shit day.
It's fucking true, dude. It's very, very true. All right, dude. So we know who we're playing next. That's tomorrow night against the San Antonio Spurs, another back-to-back. We came on tonight for the Ring of Honor and to yell at you heathens that were at the game that booed Mrs. Krause, you fucking jagoffs, doing that to an old-ass lady. Grow up. Be better. Dicks. So if we're back tomorrow, we will be. If we're not, that's okay, because it's Saturday, and you should enjoy yourself before Sunday comes, and it's literally negative temperatures out here, and you're going to be upset. So take advantage.
We're gonna get a foot of snow, and then it's going to be frozen with us for the next 2 months. So
100%. Yeah, 100%. Closing words, Goose?
Try not to get frostbite. Clearing off your driveway if you live in Illinois. And don't make old ladies cry. Help them shovel their driveways if they need it.
Yeah. Don't boo their dead husbands, because it's wrong. It's dead wrong. All right. We'll be back when we're back. Let's go, Bulls. Great Ring of Honor night, kind of, even though Heathens suck.